Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful day in Dunswell Zoo. It is wonderful in Dunswell Zoo. It is not so wonderful where I am. It's a very cold December day. It is raining outside, and what better way to spend the day than showing you all the latest addition to Dunswell Zoo. Of course, the thumbnail and the title probably gave it all away. We are, of course, going to be showing off the marsh deer habitat, and so far, it is my favourite habitat that I've ever built, ever, period. I really like how it turned out. So, for those of you that haven't seen the last episode, why haven't you seen the last episode? I showed you what we did, which was the red howler monkeys. They have now had their offspring. I say they because we actually ended up having two babies being born. It's two different mothers. Same father, different mothers. We've got two baby girls somewhere. Good luck finding them. Ooh, don't want to walk into the habitat. But of course, last time there was a big empty space here. And there is now the marsh deer habitat. So we'll just backtrack a little bit. You have these signs here, which I have shown before. And you can see, we have the marsh deer, the monorail station, jaguar, the ocelot, reptiles at risk, the Atlantic forest, the birds tapir, and the Chilean coasts in this direction. I like how open it becomes here, and I just love how it's turned out. I really do. So here we have the marsh deer habitat. So you can see we've got the male there and the 4 females. That's all we've got at the moment, and there is no way in hell I would have done this as a speed build, because it went through probably 4 different iterations before I settled on a design that I really liked, which was this one. So if you're entering from the monorail station, which will be the next episode, you can see Frank's already over there just waiting. If you're entering from this direction, this is what you're greeted with. 2 directions we're going to go straight on. You can see we've got the donation boxes and the education. In your first view here, you've got like a flat plateau. You can see into the house a little bit, and you can also see them on the what I call the ridge, and you'll see why I call it the ridge when we get to the other side of the habitat. And there's this planted boundary here just to prevent the marsh deer from jumping out, because they are pretty good jumpers and they do have really long legs, which I quite like about the marsh deer, in all honesty. And then there's a planted border as well, just for some additional buffer space, I guess, between the guests and the animals. And then we get to what's quite possibly one of my favourite views of the habitat, which is this one. So obviously we've got 2 leucistic, I think they are, females, and we've got 2 normal females and a normal male. I think the mod is a little bit broken, however, because if we just go on to G here, we've got Miguel. Where is it? Social. So adult population 5, current mate none, and that says current mate Miguel. Oh, maybe it's fixed itself then. So what was happening before is it was saying as a beta animal it's not able to have mates, but there weren't any. Yeah, it's gone to an alpha now. So maybe, has it fixed itself? I think it's fixed itself. Never mind. So we'll have some baby marsh deer soon, hopefully. See, we're getting notifications all over the place about the flamingos maturing. We'll deal with that at a later date. But then I've decorated this. It's a little bit messy. I'm not 100% settled on the design. These two panels in particular I might change. There's a bit too much going on there. But we've got the red howler monkey, of course, which just live here. Got the giant otters. They'll be coming soon. Got the jaguar, the capuchin, and the capybara. We've got the butterflies, which are, of course, now arriving in the Grasslands Animal Pack on December 13th. Really looking forward to getting butterflies. We've got the spectacled caiman, which won't be making an appearance in Dunswell Zoo. And then we've got a capybara, and I'm going to put a sign in here with some sort of education or a notice or something like that. But then we get to the rest of the habitat. So, used lots of drinned grass here, and I do really like how it's turned out. And we've got this weeping willow. And this is what I was calling the ridge. So the marsh deer are just behind the bushes, as you can see. And that's why I call that area the ridge, because it's a sheer drop off into this little marsh down here. And if we actually go ahead and hit play, we might see them come down here. If we just loiter for a little bit. They do come down here quite a lot, actually, and you do get some really nice views of them. He says, and then they won't come down here at all because they've just been fed. We'll just continue to move around anyway. And as we get towards the next habitat and a little path here, that view becomes slightly more obscured. So the planting starts getting a little bit taller and you get less of a viewing opportunity. Yeah, they're too interested in what's happening over there to come down here. But I just love this. How it's turned out, just all of it. Really, really like how it's turned out. So they do have a lot more room than they actually need. If I can just select one of them. Brilliant. Let's go here. So they only need 580 and 140. They've got 2,151. So that's what? Just over... No, just under 4 times what they need. And then the water is significantly bigger. But we can have some more adults in here. And of course, if they're going to be having fawns as well, we're going to need some additional room. But I think this is a pretty realistic habitat in terms of sizing for the marsh deer. Maybe not. I don't think you would ever see something like this in a zoo. But I think you should, because this habitat is just absolutely amazing, if I do say so myself. It's definitely my favourite habitat that I have ever built to date. I just absolutely love it. That final iteration has turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted it to look. So I couldn't really do anything else to it at this moment in time. I think I've hit the nail on the head with what I wanted for my vision, but also the needs of the animal, which is first and foremost the most important thing. It's the needs of the animal. Yeah, they've had some food and now they're going to sleep. So we then get to this area. So there's a path that cuts down here. Ignore this. This is a work in progress. This path layout might not be staying as it is. But you can see I've continued this drin grass sort of boundary around this side. but sort of interspersed it. So we've got some of the new foxgloves from the Twilight Pack. And then we get to some thicker planting, and then some smaller trees, and then we work our way up to some significantly bigger trees. Which brings us to this area, which is the back of the marsh deer habitat. So I need to put a gate or something here to stop guests from doing this. Not that they would, to be fair, because it is a staff path in the game. The guests won't walk on it. But we're going for realism here. So you do get some views of the marsh deer from the back of the habitat, albeit small views, because, I mean, can we see any? Yeah, we can sort of see some at the minute over there. The focus, of course, of this path is going to be on this habitat here. So I didn't want people being too distracted, but I also wanted to give the marsh deer some privacy as well. So that is the marsh deer habitat from the outside. And I really like how it's turned out. I'm so proud of it. It's easily the best thing I've ever built, period. So I'll show you what the house looks like on the inside. It is pretty straightforward and simple. So, oh, I just glitched through a keeper. Need to move that tree. But yeah, you've essentially got the main access here. And this area is the sleeping area for the herd. Because of course they are a herd animal. Marsh deer. And just look at their legs. They're so long for deer. It's cool. Don't know what's happened with his feet though. I don't know if that's is that a model error? Or, oh no, it's just the lods, I think it is. When you zoom out, they look a little bit funky. Yeah, and then when you zoom in, they actually go into what they're supposed to be. Fair enough. But this area here, I haven't put any bedding down at the moment, but this would be able. This would be able. Yeah. You would be. The keepers would be able, if I can form English sentences. The keepers would be able to shut this off and shut this if any of them needed separating for whatever reason. And that would be that, essentially. So they're really happy in here, the marsh deer. So this is sort of the furthest they can come. They can't really walk any further down here. They can get to here, which I do need to sort of readjust that. Let's do that now. Ah, of course. I accidentally made it part of a group. I will sort that off camera. That's better. Yeah, I've made it part of the keeper hut group instead of the habitat. It's my bad. So they can go down there to that herb enrichment. And then should they so wish, they can continue. What the hell is happening here? No, no, no. Why does it? It still shows the UI thing at the bottom. It tends to a hand when it should still be a pointer. Anyway. And then they can follow this slope down to the marsh area. Or they do have this area, this slope as well. Are there any down here? No, I don't think. Oh yeah, there is. We've got the two leucistic one swimming. So it does have varying depths, as you can see. We can see the bottom here. It's not that deep. But then over here, it gets a bit deeper. And then we end up under the water, because that's a completely natural experience to have in a zoo. But yeah, I wanted to make it as marshy as possible for stuff like this. So it's still walking, but it's sort of knee-high in water, because they have such long legs. Just, yeah, that's the kind of stuff you want to see. So that, my friends, is the marsh deer habitat. It could do with a little bit more work here and there, maybe. But other than that, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I don't think there's anything I would change particularly. I am very, very, very happy with how this habitat turned out. And I've said it many times already. I love it. It's easily one of the best things I have built ever in Planet Zoo. I just love it. My favourite habitat so far. Just wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, look at this for a view. Yeah. So that is the marsh deer habitat, ladies and gentlemen, and attack helicopters, and however else you choose to identify. Let's see if we can spot some of those baby howler monkeys whilst I talk to you about what's coming next. I cannot see the baby howler monkeys. Oh well. Anyway, so what's coming next? So the next episode, it isn't going to be a speed build, but it's also not going to be like this one either, where I just show you the end product. I'm going to show the next one in stages, so I will show you sort of the rough first iteration, and then refining it, and then the finishing touches and stuff like that. But the next one is the South American monorail plaza, which is actually just down there where those green hedges are. That's going to be the monorail station. That's where the story is going to come back into play. So if you remember in the original series of Dunswell Zoo, we took over the Eastlake Animal Education Centre and slowly upgraded that, and then eventually closed it down and built Dunswell Zoo. And we got to the Andean bears before something happened and I wasn't able to get back in for a very, very long time. So the story element of it, the role play, will be coming back, and there will be educational elements to that as well, in terms of why we have the animals we have. But as many of you will probably know by now, if not all of you watching this video, we're getting the Grasslands DLC and update 1.12, I think it is, on the 13th of December. Many of the animals in the Grasslands Park are already mods, and some of them have already featured in Dunswell Zoo. The emu and the maned wolf, and then in the previous series there was also the red-necked wallaby, which is also the Bennett's wallaby. I will be using, of course, the official emu and the official maned wolf. Now, when it comes to the other animals, the blue wildebeest was going to be in Dunswell Zoo anyway, but now we've got an official one. Of course, it's going to be in it. So that's just been a case of removing the mod. What other animals? The armadillo. I'm hoping we get some armadillo mods pretty soon after the initial release. I think we're getting the 9-banded armadillo with the Grasslands pack for completely personal reasons. I would rather have I think it's the 3-banded armadillo, because that's the one that I have seen the most in zoos and wildlife parks where I've been, has been the 3-banded armadillo. So I'm hoping we get a 3-banded armadillo mod. Leaf. If we do get the 3-banded armadillo, I will put that in Dunswell Zoo, just because I love them. They're so characterful. For now, though, I think we will have the 9-banded armadillo in the zoo. Where I'm going to put it, I am not quite sure yet. It may go in the Pantanal. It may go in the Atlantic Forest. Or we may go back and put it in the Pampas pastures. Not 100% sure yet, but I definitely like an armadillo species, and I would rather have the 3-banded armadillo. But we're getting the 9-banded armadillo, so that will do for now. Maned wolf, of course, already in the zoo, so it's just a case of swapping the mod out for the official release. Maybe while the maned wolves are out of the habitat, we might tweak their habitat because it's a little bit big and you don't get the best views particularly. But we'll see what I feel like. The caracal I wasn't going to have in the zoo, so I'm unaffected by that one. The striped hyena I wasn't going to have in the zoo, so I'm not affected by that one. And is that it? Armadillo, maned wolf, emu, wallaby, wildebeest. I hate when this happens. Armadillo, maned wolf, emu, wallaby, wildebeest, hyena, caracal, and then the butterflies. So the butterflies, I want to put them in somewhere, definitely. We're getting, I think, 5 different species of butterfly. They can either live together, or they can have like single species housing. I can't remember all the species off the top of my head. I think the swallowtail and the monarch and the blue morpho are 3 of them. So I would... My apologies, had to do a cut there. I received a phone call. Always happens when I'm recording. Where was I? Oh, yeah, the butterflies. I'll have to do some research to see if I can allocate regions to them. But I'd definitely like to put them in Dunswell Zoo somewhere. But I think that just about does it. So the next thing to talk about, which will probably be the last thing, is schedule. So we're getting another career scenario in the Grasslands pack. I haven't done the career scenarios on the channel. I've done them for myself, but I haven't recorded like walkthroughs and stuff, just because you're guided through those and it's fairly straightforward to achieve, you know, the gold. I was asked a lot about doing the Twilight one, and I ultimately decided not to, simply because it took me a long time. It took me a long time. But also, if I did that one, I feel I'd have to do the other ones. and that's not something I particularly want to commit to. So I probably won't be doing this career scenario on the channel either. But of course, we need to know if mods are going to break with 1.12 and the Grasslands pack. So, depending on what happens with the mods, if the mods do break, I might do a Twilight and Grasslands mini zoo. If the mods don't break, then we'll just continue as planned with Dunswell Zoo. So I'm trying to get the next one out before the 13th of December, and I'm recording this on the 3rd, so I've got 10 days to do the next episode, which is more than enough, alongside Christmas shopping and therapy and meetings and appointments and stuff. I should just be able to squeeze a monorail station episode in, but we'll see. But either way, you can definitely expect lots of content coming. But that's going to be it for me, my friends. Thank you very much for joining me for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. I apologise, I was a little bit all over the place. It happens some days, unfortunately. But I do love this habitat. It is easily one of the best things I have built, one of the best looking things I have built. And I would hope to be able to recreate stuff to this level, and also create stuff to this level in the future, just to give you a little taste of what is to come. Particularly if you follow me on Instagram, you're going to see this quite a lot. I'm going to be going back through all the habitats and showing you the inhabitants as much as I can by name. So with the Chicoan peccaries and the coatis, it's going to be a bit difficult because we've got a lot of them, same with the flamingos. But with the Andean bears and the howler monkeys, which still need names, by the way, that's going to be a bit easier. Next episode will be the South American monorail plaza, and then we're going to switch over to the Australia and New Zealand zone for about 4 episodes, I think. Yeah, about 4 episodes. And we're going to be building for some really interesting animals over there. Platypus, Tasmanian devil, Lumholtz tree kangaroo, and the Victorian koala. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss that, and enable any notifications too. Follow me on Instagram at JW_YT. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to stay safe, stay kind, stay humble, and if you can, stay a little bit festive. I won't, because I'm a Grinch and I don't like Christmas. Thank you for watching, my friends, and I shall see you all in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye for now.